Hey guys, welcome back, episode 21. We said we were going to start to talk about stability and being active, having active stability first. There's a test that you can do to test yourself to see whether you have a tendency to be an extender or not. And this is a really simple test that I tend to use with most of my athletes in the first contact, so that we can just see what their kind of natural choice is when it comes to adding peripheral load and how they cope with that. The test is very, very simple. And all you're going to do is need to lie down flat on the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate this for you now. I lay down flat, and with my athletes, I have them to fully extend the knees and legs with the toes pointed. They lie on the back nice and flat. And then what I ask them to do, without cueing anything, is simply to lift the feet off the floor and back down. Now, what we tend to see with this test is that when people have a very passive strategy for being stable, they will do something which looks like this. They will lift up and they will extend and then they will come back down. So they will literally adopt what I call this extension dominant pattern, this passive version of what stability should be. They let their rib cage pop up to the top, and they let their tummies poke out, and the gap under their back increases significantly. In order to demonstrate that people are coordinating this region very well, we're looking for actually somebody to be able to virtually eliminate their lumbar curve, to be quite flat at the bottom of their back. This is kind of a little bit paradoxical, because when you're on your feet, you're not going to be fully eliminating or flattening that lumbar spine. But in terms of the test on the floor, that's exactly what should be happening. So the test should look something like this. You lay down, your athletes ideally would instinctively bring their rib cage forward, keep their shoulders relaxed, tight their tummy, bums engaged, lift off. Down slow, disengage in those three areas. Those who are dysfunctional will extend as they lift up and relax down. So there won't be any real control demonstrated. Version number 1 of the test is just do the test in a very honest way yourself and see what your natural tendency is, to see whether you want to extend or you want to flatten. If you do instinctively extend, which a lot of our athletes do, particularly at the ribcage level, they thrust their ribcage forward, try to actively control ribcage position being forward, tummy being tight, and bum being engaged whilst lifting your feet off. For those people who tend to adopt the passive strategy, this will feel extraordinarily difficult to do well. They'll feel like they are vibrating on the floor because of the effort required. They will also start to bring the shoulders forward into this hunched position, and they'll start to splint their airway and hold their breath. So they'll be really braced and they won't be able to talk to you at all. Have a little look at your athletes, have a look at yourself, see what the tendencies are, because we find that we have guys breaking down doing functional movement programs and moving functionally when they can't even do these very basic things on the floor. There's no surprise to us why they break down, but for some of our athletes, they are surprised. Have a go, see which you are, because the next videos will follow on to this.